on the YouTube channel. So when we were all born, we were born with a temperament, and depending on which books you've read or whether it's the DISC, the Florence Lid Tower, the Ideogram, whatever, I love all of those. I think the Ideogram is it's very in depth. Um, I think that it's probably a little too in depth to be able to get a good read on somebody right away. So you can study that, you can do it, but I have other concerns with it as well. But the choleric, melancholy, sanguine, phlegmatic is, in my mind, the easiest one to understand, or DASC is basically the same. But so I want to go through these because we are all born with a temperament. And you can look at a little baby, like we can tell our little granddaughter already, she's a sanguine. We can tell already. We don't know what her secondary is yet, but she's all sanguine. She don't want to miss anything. Like if she's falling asleep, she hears something, boom, she's awake. She's looking around. She just loves to be around people. So she's definitely a sanguine. And all of our kids, we could tell what their temperament was when they were very young. You can actually tell by the way how long they'll leave poop in their diaper. I mean, there's all kinds of indicators for little kids. You can tell if you think about it. Okay, so we're all that way. So we have a primary and a secondary temperament. So I want to go through these real quick because it's important and really important as you're on a Zoom with somebody to try to determine what temperament they are, so you know where to stay away from and what to focus on. So everybody has a primary and a secondary. So the first one we'll talk about is a sanguine. And I'll just go through these real quick. A sanguine is somebody that's energetic and they're fired up. And usually you can tell a sanguine because they look like this. Their eyes are real big and they're just excited about everything. Doesn't matter. They wake up like that, just woo. Um, so a sanguine, their strengths are they're sociable, they're enthusiastic, and they're optimistic. There's other traits, but those are the main ones. Their weaknesses, the things that might need to work on, they're impulsive, easily distracted, and disorganized. They can be just a little bit disorganized. So any of you that know a sanguine, you know that's true. The next one is the choleric. Strengths are they're ambitious, goal-oriented, and decisive. They can make a decision. Even if it's the wrong one, they'll make it. And their weaknesses, they can be domineering, impatient, and sometimes aggressive. I like to sum it up. A choleric is often wrong, but never in doubt. They're always very sure of themselves, even when they're wrong. A melancholy. Their strengths are they're analytical, detail-oriented, and very dependable. Their weaknesses, they tend to be pessimistic. They'll call it realistic, but they'll say, I'm realistic. No, you're pessimistic. They're overly critical and they can be introverted. So if you don't know these things, if you can't read somebody, you won't know which to stay away from. And then uh, melancholies are wondering, why did you wait to talk about me until the third? Because we didn't want anybody to think we were talking about you. That's why melancholies, because you always think everybody's talking about you. And then phlegmatic is the last one. The reason we save phlegmatic for last is because they don't care. Phlegmatics just don't care when they get fit into the picture or whatever. So phlegmatic, they're calm, relatable, and diplomatic. Their weaknesses are they're indecisive and resistance to change, and they can be passive. And passiveness can create some issues. So phlegmatics can have a problem with some of the stuff we talked about tonight, maybe feeling pushy or something like that. So I tell Amy, she's phlegmatic melancholy. I say, honey, you can totally 100% open up a can on somebody. Let them have it, both barrels, and you'll come across as mildly assertive. That's just the way most phlegmatics are. They're just so nice that they're just not usually not capable of getting angry with somebody unless they've been married to them for 34 years. I can make her angry. So anyhow, um, all right. So those are the temperaments. Now we understand them. You got to understand what you are. I recommend Florence Littauer's book is good, or DISC. Those are both really good books. Understand that how to relate to people, and I want to leave us with this as we close up here. Um, oh yeah, we are. I want to, but before we role play, I want to leave you with a question, um, because all of these techniques that we're talking about here tonight, they mean absolutely nothing if you truly don't believe the story. You have to believe the story. And I'm not just talking about the story of does the patchwork, does the compensation plan reward, all that, does the story fit with you in it having a victory? Because what Nick's getting ready to tell you won't mean anything if you don't believe that story. So, Nick, let me ask you a question. I'm going to fire a couple questions at you. Um, how are you contacting people? Are you just sending them emails or are you sending a bunch of videos or what? How do you just send people David Schmidt videos and say, hey, you want to sign up or what are you doing?
I think Sham and I are both doing the same thing, which is either to, I send a lot of texts. So I'll send a text just saying, hey, let me know when you have 5 minutes. I have a couple of questions for you that I needed to ask. And sometimes it's somebody that I haven't seen in a long time. And I'll just say, hey, I want to catch up, but I have a couple of health related questions that I need to ask you.
Nice.
And my goal is a 5 minute phone call.
Yeah.
And then in the 5 minute phone call, I'm asking, hey, have you ever heard of anything related to stem cell therapy? Or do you know anything about stem cell technology? And then I pause. And their answer is almost always the same. No, really don't know that much. I mean, I've talked to radiologists and business owners and coaches and whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's almost always the same thing. No, I don't really know. I mean, I've heard about it. I don't really know much.
Yeah.
And I'll say
No.
exactly what you told me. Hey, I came across a stem cell technology. It's helped us, it's helped my parents, and it's helping a ton of people. And I just think you'd be really excited about it.
Is this MLM, Nick?
Well, I'm not even really talking to you about MLM. I just want to talk to you about this health product because I think it'd really help you guys with your
Yeah.
health.
Just put that to bed right off the get-go. I
And
didn't
I've
call.
had a couple of people say, hey, as long as you're not contacting me about MLM, we're good. And I tell them I'm not contacting you about any business. I'm contacting you about a product,
Yeah.
about a technology that's helping us.
Yeah.
And I have no qualms about saying that because if they don't hear it from me, they're not going to hear about it
Yeah.
because it's an
Th-
exclusive. And I tell them that this is an exclusive. We have a patent on this. It's one of one. And if you don't hear it from me, you're not going to hear it. So I
yeah.
really want you to have access to this just in case it'll help your health or somebody that you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you said you sponsored a couple more people today, right? Was it same way,
Um,
or did Sham text them
One
or
today, one last night. Yeah.
yeah.
So, and we have a gal on our team that doesn't even know what she's doing, and she's contacting people and they're excited. And she's doing the same thing. And that's just because that's what we did with her. That's what Sham did with
Exactly.
her. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's very duplicatable. Send a text. And again, this is one of those things you gotta figure out what's working right and be willing to adjust. Not maybe the preference is, hey, just call somebody. Well, depending on the age group, like Sergio's age group, if you call them, they think somebody died. Like
yeah.
people, they don't expect a phone call. Like, what are they calling for? Who died? Where some of us older folks, we call each other. So texting
And
is
I'll call
very,
somebody, but I like to let them know that I'm calling.
yeah,
Because I'm talking to a lot of people that I haven't talked to in a lot of years.
yeah,
So it'd be weird for them to get a phone call from me. Sham talks to a lot of people that she sees every day.
yeah,
So you may want to ask her. I don't know. She's sitting right here. So she
yeah,
talks to a lot of people that she has current relationships with.
yeah,
I'm talking to a lot of people that I have had relationships in the past, but I haven't talked to them in a long time.
yeah. Sham, do you text them first? Do you just call them, or you see them in face to face, or how do you do it?
Either face to face or I'll call them.
Yeah,
Like like at the gym I work out at, and um, just in conversation, and then I ask, "Have you heard of stem cell therapy?" And then they'll give me their yes, no, whatever they tell me. I said, "Well, would you be open to hearing some information about it?" Yeah, send me some information. And I said, "Well, what I found out is that doesn't do much. It doesn't really help, so it's best if I get on a Zoom call with you."
yeah,
So, because in the beginning, I was sending stuff and it wasn't working. And I said, and it's honest. I'm like, I found out that me sending information is really not going to do much. It's best if I get on a Zoom call. And people are like, oh, okay. So it's really easy to go from, hey, send me some information to let's get on a Zoom call. And
Yeah.
I haven't had any resistance on that. I've had resistance on, no, I don't think I'm interested, like one time, but most people are very open to it and whether they know anything about it or not.
Yeah.
So,
It, that's good. And I think a lot of it with Nick and Sham both, you can tell that they believe in the technology. Like it really doesn't matter necessarily the phraseology. Like they've seen it help. Like I know both of you guys have seen it help Nick's parents. So like that's in your mind, or it's embedded in you that you guys saw that happen. So
Hmm.
maybe can you tell some of those stories, Nick? Like what have you guys seen the product do, and why do we sense this that you just believe in it?
Sure. I mean, just for us, we've seen a lot of little things. Right away, I saw energy increase, like immediately. I didn't even know I had brain fog, but I realized I did after I started using this. You're just kind of dialed in. But I noticed some knee pain that I was having that I just sort of ignored go away. I've noticed hip flexors tight go away. Just little things. But then my mom and dad got started with the patches, and my mom especially, she's had everything from ankles and legs that were retaining water, and she ordered compression socks to take care of the problem. And by the time her compression socks came, she had been wearing the patch for maybe a month. And she said, I looked down and my legs weren't swollen anymore. And then she notices fine lines on her face decreasing. And she has a birthmark that she's had for almost 80 years and it's gone or going away. She had a condition that none of the doctors could really explain exactly what was going on, but her heart would race to like 180, 190 beats a minute in the middle of the night and would wake her up. And she'd been to multiple cardiologists, including Mayo, and all they could tell her was, we think it's an electrical issue with your heart. And they were talking about maybe a defibrillator or what, any of that stuff. And since she started wearing the patches, she hasn't had the problem. My dad sold some patches to his aunt who's 92, and she has a before and after picture that looks a lot like the lady that you show every Thursday meeting. It's like literally 1 month on the patch and you can tell a difference.
Wow.
So I mean, you start to see some of those things.
we talked about their dog.
I mean, their dog had a limp every time she got up. She's 9 years old and she's had bad knees since they got her. And she's a little dog, and she would get up from a nap or get up from her bed, and she would not even use one of her legs for a while until it warmed up. And they started taking her used patch every night and putting it on the collar after they were done using it. And she doesn't limp anymore. I
Wow.
mean, and we have family members who are like, oh, I guess your dog gets the placebo effect.
Yeah.
And we're like, are you nuts? Like, a dog doesn't understand placebo effect.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard.
Mhm.
I mean, and we have a friend who was a 12-year veteran of Major League Baseball. If I said his name, everyone would know it. He's got a gold medal, and he was 12 years in the major leagues playing baseball, all-star shortstop. And he had an intestinal issue where he had like a foot of his intestines removed. And he had digestion issues and irregularity and horrible for like a year. And he started wearing the patch, and 3 weeks after he was wearing the patch, he feels like a normal person again.
Wow.
Yeah.
And his daughter has ADHD and like concussion issues, and they put the patch on her. She's 17, and he said she's like a different girl now.
Mm.
She's bright and she's funny again, and she engages in conversation, and she wasn't doing any of that because her brain was off.
Mhm.
So when you hear enough of these stories, it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like I keep telling Sham, hey, I'm proud of you for contacting these people. And she's like, what am I supposed to do? Everybody needs this.
Yeah. Yeah. Belief.
Yeah.
It, I'm so glad you said that. And I was just like, keep going, keep going, keep going. I know you could probably go for another half hour. Here's the point. When Nick and Sham got started, uh, they got started and then they had a tragedy happen in their family, and then they had to take a break. They had to deal with some stuff, somebody very close to them. And so they got started and then put the brakes on. Then they had to come back, which is even tougher. But during that time, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think some of the stuff that happened during that tragedy fueled your desire to do something different from a business standpoint and the patch. But where they're getting all these stories and all this belief at is they have their story. Obviously, they're telling the story. They feel it. He doesn't have to tell everybody those testimonials. You can smell it on them, but he understands the strategy is right and they're implementing the strategy. So some of you spent just enough time on the story. You got a little bit of belief. You didn't do the strategy, so that kills your story. And now you're struggling with unbelief. Like, why can they do it and I can't do it? Why is somebody else moving on? I know there's people on here. You got people in your group that are passing you. Some of you have people in your group that are, director and you're not director yet. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter who did what first. What matters is we get it at a certain point and we do it. Because here's the reality. And it's true for me. Everyone has a fear at some level, whether it's to go presidential or three-star presidential or have thousands of people in your group, whatever, or executive, whatever, at some level, everybody on this call has a fear, whether they're willing to admit it or not. You have a fear that you're not enough. I have the same fear. I can choose to believe that fear and create a story to back up and edify and strengthen that fear, or I can choose to go in the opposite direction and make it a matter of prayer and inspiration or desperation. However I'm motivated, I'm usually desperation, but I'm going to reject that fear. And I hope you do too. And I hope you hear me. You are enough. You are enough. Everybody on here is enough. You're here. Now, does that mean we don't have to get better? No, of course. I got to get better. I got to get a lot better. I notice right now, like my first big stated goal is to have 7 presidential directors in each binary leg. I've noticed that I'm not even one yet. So do I need to learn more? Absolutely. But I'm not going to tell myself I'm not enough, because in him, I am enough. I believe God called us to do this. I believe he called everybody on this call to do it. It's up to you whether or not you believe that or not. I can't make you believe it. All I can tell you is, in my humble opinion, you're enough. Let's have an amazing year this year. And let's get that story. That story is going to drive the strategy. Those two things you got to have. Don't just do the strategy. It ain't enough. You got to have that story. And you're a big part of that story. You're a big part of the overall story of this team. And we love you guys. We're glad to have you here. We'll see y'all Thursday night.
Thanks, Tim and Amy.
Great job sharing, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Nick. I'll send you your $20 for doing that talk. That was good. Caesar, I owe you a couple bucks too. That was good. All right, guys. Good night.